Hello friends, welcome to the platform of Darshanik IAS. This is Akshay Kadam. So guys, today on this platform of Darshanik IAS, we are going to discuss one important concept from Gandhian ethics. So guys, as you know, Gandhian ethics is very important part of your ethics paper, of ethics syllabus. A lot of Gandhi's ideas are very applicable in your ethics paper, because most of the thinkers that we study in ethics, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Buddha, Mahavira, most of them were in a time period around 2500 BC or so on, and so their ideas were not as much applicable in administrative context, administrative scenarios. But Gandhi's idea, Ambedkar's ideas, Nehru's ideas, or even Bentham Kant, who were there in the recent time period, okay, when administration, constitution, law, legal system, everything was evolving, and that's why their ideas play very significant role, are very useful and come handy while answering your ethics answers or even case study answers. So in Gandhian ethics, I am going to discuss with you one such important idea, okay, that is concept between morality and legality. So, okay, so Gandhi advocated this concept of Dharmarajya in his theory of Swaraj, and in that Dharmarajya idea, what Gandhi was telling us, that foundation of state should not be a legal law, but foundation of state should be moral law. And here Gandhi was making difference between morality and legality, and there are and this debate is very famous in ethics. In many case studies, okay, you will face a moral reasoning, a moral dilemma, okay, between morality and legality. There are large number of things which are moral, okay, but may not be legal, and there are large number of things which are legal may not be moral. And so morality and legality does not presuppose each other. Okay, morality has no relation with legality, and largely legality has no relation with the morality. And so this gap between morality and legality that Gandhi discussed in Dharmarajya and supported that instead of legality, okay, morality should be the foundation of the state, foundation of law, foundation of everything in administration. So let's discuss this idea in detail, the Dharmarajya concept, morality versus legality. So guys, when Gandhi advocated the concept of Swaraj, okay, in Hind Swaraj, when he was writing that book where he gave the conception of Swaraj, the what kind of India, independent India he wanted to see, what kind of democratic, political, legal, economic structure that he wanted to see in independent India. And there, okay, he gave this idea of Swaraj. Now Swaraj is very broad concept of Gandhi, but if we simplify it, then this Swaraj is resting on some important principles. So one first aspect of Swaraj was Swadhinta, home rule. So obviously Gandhi would never support British rule. Obviously Gandhi wanted Swadhinta. Okay, but for Gandhi, independence is not only Swadhinta, कि गोरे जाके काले आए. For Gandhi, okay, home rule alone is not independence or Swaraj. Home rule is one significant aspect, but independence is not only home rule. And that's why Gandhi Swaraj was different than the extremist Swaraj. For extremist, okay, home rule was major demand, but Gandhi said that home rule is not entirely Swaraj. Okay, Swaraj is much broader idea than the simple home rule. Okay, and this home rule demand, what the problem with home rule demand, what Gandhi advocated or said is that this home rule demand is as good as saying replace British tiger with Bengal tiger. Okay, replace British bureaucracy with Indian bureaucracy, British administration with Indian administration, British politician with Indian politician, and these Indian people will not exploit India or will administer and govern India in a good manner. Okay, there is no guarantee of that. So home rule alone will not cause Swaraj, will not realize Swaraj. But yes, we need home rule, because good government cannot be alternative to self-government. Okay, good government cannot be alternative to self-government. Okay, British, even if they govern, doesn't matter how good manner, we don't want British in India. Indians should govern Indians. So yes, Swadhinta, home rule was one important aspect of Swaraj, but Swadhinta, home rule alone for Gandhi, okay, was not going to lead to Swaraj. So second significant aspect of Swaraj was self-governance. It's not only your home rule, okay, Swadhinta, but you should have self-governance. People should be able to govern themselves. Okay, people should be able to govern their own economy, own politics, own administration, own legal system. Okay, and for that self-governance, Gandhi advocated the concept of village republic. He advocated idea of direct democracy or village republics. And this idea of direct democracy, village republic, Swaraj, that Gandhi advocated. Here, Gandhi talked about decentralization of political system, decentralization of legal system, decentralization of economic system. And that's why Gandhi talked about in this self-governance, in his idea of village republics, he talked about decentralized legal, political, economic, administrative structures. Power should be close to the people. People should be able to participate in the decision-making process, okay, in their economic decision related to their economic aspects, administrative aspect, legal aspects. And that's why in Swaraj, the next pillar was this self-governance, and that Gandhi wanted to realize through direct democracy, that generally through village republics. Now, it is a very big concept, very awesome concept that Gandhi advocated, decentralization of economy, decentralization of political structure. And that's why this charkha was very important aspect in Gandhian ideology, because it was not only an instrument to stop the British imperialism, economic imperialism, okay, that was happening in the form of this imported cotton, clothes, etc. So yes, charkha was one tool against that British imperialism, but charkha in a symbolic manner also represented this concept of decentralized economic production. Okay, it was symbol for handicraft or village and cottage industry, and that's why Nehru called this charkha, okay, as a son of village solar system. It will regenerate, re-energize those old village independent, self-sufficient, self-governing village economies. Okay, so self-sufficient village economies and self-governing village republics is what Gandhi wanted to see in this idea of Swaraj, extremely decentralized legal, political, administrative, economic structures. Now, along with that, Gandhi also advocated third aspect of Swaraj, that is Dharmaraj. The foundation of state should be legal law, okay, state to be not just legal law, sorry. So, foundation of state not to be only legal law but a moral law, okay. And then fourth aspect was Antyodaya. And all this administrative, legal, political structure should work for the last, the downtrodden, the person who can't help themselves. Administration should work for them. And there, and to support this idea, Gandhi also discussed one Gandhian talisman. I have already recorded one lecture on that. Do check that lecture also. Lecture about Gandhian talisman that he gave to the bureaucracy, in which he advocated this concept of Antyodaya, that all administration, governance should work for the last, the downtrodden, okay, most oppressed, exploited person. So the basic idea of Antyodaya. So in this idea of Swaraj, okay, this Dharmarajya concept was very important that we are going to discuss in detail now. So what Gandhi was saying, Dharmarajya. Now understand, whenever you will come across the word Ramrajya, Dharmarajya in Gandhian ethics or in general in Indian philosophy, okay, there is a concept of Purusharth, Artha, Dharma, Kam, Moksha. So whenever there is a word Dharma, it has nothing to do with the religion as such, because in ancient Indian philosophies, Dharma word represents the moral law, legal, moral law, a social order, the moral order, social order. In that angle, this Dharma concept comes. So Dharma has nothing to do with religion as such. When we talk about Dharma Sutras, Dharma Shastras, they talk about moral code of conduct that you need to follow. As a father, what your moral duties are towards kids. As a kids, what is your moral duty towards the parents. As a citizen, what are your moral duties towards the society. So that aspect, this Dharmarajya concept comes. So it has nothing to do with the religion. It is a moral law, okay, moral order. Because in entire, when Krishna was advocating Arjuna, okay, to protect his dharma, to act on his dharma, okay, or when he is talking about ahimsa, parama dharma, and asking Arjuna that even doing hinsa for protection of dharma is a good thing or a moral thing, okay, Krishna was telling Arjuna to kill his own family members, not people of any other religion. And that's why, so this dharma does not represent religion. Dharmarajya represents moral order, moral law. And so what Gandhi was saying, it is Swaraj. When we learn to rule ourselves, the real goal of freedom struggle was not only to secure political azadi, independence from Britain, but rather to gain true Swaraj, that is liberation and self-rule. So we want liberation, Swadhinta, independence and self-rule, that is village republic in the form of direct democracy, self-governance, that what he was advocating. And also he advocated Dharmarajya, a state where individuals live on the foundation of dharma, not under the enforced rules of machine-like government. Okay, so foundation of Swaraj are based on moral law, not legal law. Now, what is this foundation of state should be based on moral law, not legal law, or state where individuals live on the foundation of a dharma, okay, and not under the enforced rule of machine-like government. A point Gandhi ka itna hi tha that in society, in administration, in governance, many things can happen legally, and by legally even nation states can collapse. And that's why legality does not guarantee good governance, antyodaya, or any welfare. And that's why foundation of the state should be morality, not just a legality. Now why? So take an example, historical example of fascist regime, Nazi government. Now this Nazi government, this fascist regime of Nazi people, now this Nazi government was totally elected government. If you consider Hitler as a military dictator, that's very wrong understanding of history. Hitler wasn't military dictator. Hitler came to power through an election and became the head of the German state, the fascist Nazi state. And whatever he did in Germany, the murder of Jewish people and the resultant in World War II, and whatever disaster happened in which a lot of Nazi German people also died, all the havoc, the destruction, the disaster that happened in Germany, okay, Hitler did, okay, with complete legality. And when most of these Nazi people were arrested and they were tried in Nuremberg trials, at those Nuremberg trials, most of those Nazi people said, okay, and or the point they forwarded or argument they made in those court to defend themselves was that they were following the orders of their government, a elected government which was ruling by law. And even British were saying the same in India. When they arrested Gandhi after NCM, okay, they tried Gandhi on the charges of sedition because Gandhi, okay, questioned the legitimacy of British government established by law of a British parliament. But yes, British were governing India by the law of parliament through laws and procedures, okay, but where was the morality in those laws? So even legally, you can govern in a most horrible manner. Now that way, Jallianwala will also become legal. There was a law, Rowlatt Act. Accordingly, they applied curfew. But you did not inform the people that there is a curfew. At night, you implemented curfew. And in the morning, where people came there as per their planned conference, they came for that meeting, conference at Jallianwala, and they were shot dead, murdered, massacred by the Dyer. So he did everything, okay, as per the Rowlatt Act, the legality. Where was the morality in the process? And that's why, okay, legally bhi bahut bade kaand kiye ja sakte hain. A lot of disasters can happen. We need to be moral. Now these are just old or historical examples. But now we will take some recent example also, and you will understand, okay, why this is such a big issue. Now this Pegasus issue. Even 2-3 days back, again, Apple alerted a lot of cyber attacks happen on the phone numbers of many politicians on their mobile phones. Now, this Pegasus has been classified internationally as a war weapon. And this war weapon should be used against the enemy of a state, or in those who are in Pakistan, China, etc. But how come Pegasus is being used? If it is being used, okay, then obviously it is being used legally, but against your own people, against opposition leaders, against judges, against human rights activists, against journalists. Okay, are these people the threat to the nation? Are they enemy of the state? So maybe Pegasus thing, okay, could be legally being operated. Okay, where is the morality? The same item songs in India. Item songs are totally legal as of now. Verma committee asked after Nirbhaya gang rape, the Verma committee that was appointed asked to ban these item songs, regulate those item songs, but no law was implemented. Now that is separate topic for discussion, but the issue is these item songs who do this objectification of women, commercialization of women's body, use very derogatory references for women, And this objectification, commercialization, everything that is happening, Verma committee said, is the first step towards violence. It is desensitizing opinion towards women, and is the first step towards violence. The way, rampant way, they do this commercialization of women's body, objectification of women's body. Okay. Despite that, item songs are totally legal, but issues of morality. Then, after Farm Bill issue. Now see, Farm Bill that was passed by the Parliament. It was passed by Lok Sabha, it was passed by Rajya Sabha. In 6 months, it went to the President. President gave assent. And before that, okay, government passed Farm Bill through ordinance. Government passed Farm Bill through ordinance. Now, why ordinance making power is there in the Constitution? To be used in emergency conditions. What emergency was there to bring Farm Bill, such an important bill that is related with the crores and crores of farmers' lives? What was the need to bring it through an ordinance? Now, this Farm Bill was brought through an ordinance. When lakhs of farmers were protesting on the street, after 6 months, it was brought to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. And in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, it was passed through voice vote. Okay. When so many people were protesting, instead of following the normal procedure of first reading, second reading, parliamentary committee, select committee, debate, discussion, amendments, all process was bypassed. And this bill, which was passed through an ordinance, brought to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and passed through an voice vote. Okay. There was total, everything was followed legally. Where was the morality? And later on, government said we couldn't convince the section of the people. Yes, we couldn't convince, you couldn't convince section of the people, but you never tried to convince the section of the people at all. And you did everything in Farm Bill through legality. Where was the morality? And that's what Gandhi was saying. Even in a new India, okay, large number of things will happen constitutionally, legally, everything will happen. But foundation of state should be morality, not just legality. Then same way child labor. Now India has a child labor law. Now first of all, India has a child labor law is the problem in the first place. Your country should not have the child labor law, or whatever child labor law your country has, should have only one condition, that there shouldn't be any child labor. But we allow children to work legally. Okay. So whatever child labor between 14 to 18 years of age, they can't work in hazardous industry, but they can work in normal industry 6 hours a day with 3 hours slot, with 1 hour time gap, with compulsory holiday, no night shift. Everything is well defined in the law. There is total legality in the law. Where is the morality? Okay. And that's why, because if you think for yourself, if you are 14-year-old, 15-year-old, when you were 14, 15-year-old, would you like to work 6 hours a day to get your own food or survive? Okay. No one wants, I will never enjoy, okay, working when I was 14, 15, 16 years old to make my own living. So whatever I was doing, or if I was a kid, I will never like, okay, even if it is legally allowed me to work as a child labor. So this child labor law is totally legal thing. Where is the morality in it? Then breaking pre-poll alliances and forming post-poll alliances. This is again very problematic thing. What happened in Bihar? What happened in Maharashtra? Okay, you form a pre-poll alliances. A and B party form pre-poll alliance. Lot of people of A party vote to a B candidate. Lot of people of B party vote to A candidate. And now all these people post-election separate their ways and join government with this third party, C party. Okay, what about the other parties people who voted you? All their votes, okay, are now useless when you broke the pre-poll alliance, form post-poll alliance. And as of now, breaking pre-poll alliances and forming post-poll alliances is the most immoral thing in Indian politics, but it is totally legal. It is a politics without principle, and it's totally legal in India, but there is no political morality in that. And what are all these governments that are happening, forming, parties are getting broken and they are joining new parties, or loopholes that are being exploited in anti-defection law, etc. Everything is happening legally. Okay, there is a problem with the morality. Then first past the post system. Now India, we know we have first past the post system. Now in first past the post system, it is the foundation of Indian electoral system, India's elections, and it is extremely faulty, which is totally legal but highly immoral. Now in first part of the post system, suppose 5 candidates stand for election, 200 voters are there, 100 voters thought these 5 people are useless, okay, and did not go to vote or even come to vote and press the none of the above option. It is of no use. Remaining 100 people who voted, A got 20 votes, B got 20 votes, C got 20 votes, D got 19 votes, E got 21 votes. E got elected, okay, in the process. And E with 21 votes got elected, but in the process we are not taking into account that 179 people did not want to vote E candidate. But despite that, with 21 votes, he can become MLA, MP, CM, PM, he can get elected. Does not represent the majority of the population. And in India, we have no scope for majority, okay, to have their say. And that's why we need proportional representation, which is not there. And this first part of the post system, okay, in which I just need a vote of 21% or 21 people or some minority group. And this breeds this minority appeasement politics, religious politics. This breeds that I don't have to satisfy all the people, all middle class, poor class, etc. I just need this much money through corruption to bribe these people in the next election and they will vote for me. So all this breaking pre-poll alliances forming, this first part of the post system breeds this minority appeasement politics and all those religious politics, etc. or corruption that it breeds is a very problematic issue. And this first part of the post system is totally legal, but no at all, not moral. And British who introduced this system 100 years back almost, okay, have gave up on this system. They have shifted to proportional representation. We still follow this system, okay, though there are so many problems with this system. The same way, I told you historical example of authoritarian military state, etc. Even Taliban now is totally legal, okay. Problem is with the morality. Same way, banking industry. There was a news few years back that SBI, when they changed their minimum balance charges, SBI earned in a year almost 1,500 crore plus rupees in minimum balance charges. Now, whose money you are debiting in this minimum balance charges? Obviously, those people who struggle by end of the month to maintain the minimum balance, all the working class, labor class, etc. Obviously, those who are salaried employees working software engineer, as a software engineer, etc., getting good payments, regular payments, okay, or all this business class, their money will never get debited in minimum balance charges. So largely those people whose money is getting debited in minimum balance charges are those labor class, poor people, working class people, and this debiting minimum balance charges is totally legal in India, okay. So there is a legality, where is the morality, okay. So there are many such examples where there is a huge gap between legality and morality. Large number of things can happen legally, okay, may not be morally, and that's why Gandhi was talking that foundation of state should be strongly a moral law. Even apartheid government in South Africa, okay, was totally legal but extremely immoral. And that's why even when America got independence in 1775, till 1863, there was a slavery. They are an independent country with the constitution, but that constitution allowed slavery to happen. And after 1863 to 1963, in 1863 when they abolished slavery, till 1963, okay, next 100 years, though slavery wasn't there, black people wasn't having equal democratic, political, constitutional, legal rights. So these black people, okay, for them there was a democracy, there was a constitution, but there were no rights. So America's government between 1863 to 1963 was an independent, democratically elected, constitutionally governed system. Okay, it has only legality, no morality. And that's why foundation of state should be morality, not just legality, as per Gandhi. So thanks for listening, guys, and stay tuned to all these interesting concepts that will help you tremendously in your ethics paper, essay papers. Stay tuned to my Darshanik IAS YouTube channel for the updates, and also join me on UPSc Ethics 4 Telegram channel for the updates. And download my app Darshanik by Kadam sir from Google Play App Store, and stay tuned there. Soon in December month I will be launching full-fledged course there in English and Marathi for essay and ethics paper, and so do join me there for those courses. So thanks for listening, guys, and stay tuned.